Hello, my neighbor. Let's talk about all political parties are foreign to our constitutions. All right, so we're going to have some fun with this bit right now. Check out this title. Check out this hot take. What is emotion? Okay, so I want to set this one up really quick. So I want to give a shout out to the Free DC organization for showing us who they serve. All right, so I'm going to just give you a quick recap. So we were coming up off of the bench because we saw that there was this organization called Free DC, and then they were presenting themselves, and then they kept chattering about, we want to save our democracy. We want to protect our democracy. We have people in our city right now, and they're running roughshod, and everybody's afraid, blah, 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 right? And this is what this organization was doing. And then I was just like, oh man, bless your heart. I don't think you know what you guys are talking about. But they had a lot of people watching them, right? Because the mainstream media put them out there for others to see. And it was very interesting because we saw some of our servants were in there too talking. And when I say my servants, I'm talking about our political entities, what we will call our representatives. All right, so I just want to give a shout out to the Free DC organization for showing us who you serve. Thank you for your service. Thank you for being transparent. And thanks for this jump off bit. Now, okay, let's hop on this jump off bit. What is emotion? So we're going to show you what emotion is because they were definitely pulling on the emotional heartstrings. All right, check this out. Emotion is, we're going to lay down some terms and we're going to lay down some conditions. And then you and I, we need to agree upon these terms and these conditions. Okay, my neighbor? Because this is what I do. I like to show people how the machine works. All right, now check out these words and focus on the highlight and the underline. Look at what emotion is. Emotion is to move from. That's what emotion is, okay? Emotion is a moving of the mind or soul. That's what emotion is. Emotion is any agitation of mind or excitement of sensibility. That's what emotion is, all right? So just understand that people like to use your emotions to make you move, right? That's what they do. That's what they do. So that's why they're always trying to tell you fearful things, like they use trigger words, and these trigger words pull you, right? You know, so if they use words like, your children are going to get hurt, right? You know, then that's going to move you really quick. If they use trigger words, or if they create emotional states to where they say you're no longer safe and you're no longer happy, right? Those emotional states are going to move you. If they tell you that the government is a boogeyman, and then there's a man in office and he's the boogeyman, and then you're going to get pulled and you're going to get triggered because they're pulling on your emotions, because they're hoping that you don't know what the law is. That's what they're hoping on. They're hoping that you don't read your state's constitutions. That's what they're hoping, okay? And that's why people like to use emotions. And it's kind of cool and it's kind of fun because we see this happening in our art realm all day, all night. This is why art works. It's because art works on our emotions, right? And we love it and it's kind of fun. But when you use our emotions to manipulate us and to make us do things that we shouldn't be doing or that wouldn't benefit us, that's not cool. And we don't like that, okay? Now, drop down and check out Republic. So I'm showing you what a republic is because we kept hearing on the screen, they keep chattering and talking about our democracy is under attack. Our democracy. So they keep using this term democracy, and I'm just like, well, wait a minute. Aren't you a representative of we the people? And don't you know that we have Republican form governments? And then I'm just having my mind blown right now because we have people that are in positions, in the government positions of the people, and they don't even know what kind of government it is that they do, right? Check this out. We're going to show you what republic is, okay? So don't get scared and don't get shook. So when I talk about republic, I'm not talking about political parties. I don't care about political parties. You can be whatever it is that you want to be in your political party. Just know that your political party is foreign to our constitutions, okay? Remember this and we're going to be cool. And when I'm saying this, I'm saying for all the states. I don't care if you call yourself a red state or a blue state. You're only one state. You're in the United States of America. So whatever the name of your state state is, that's the name of your state. Like in California, we're not red, we're not blue, it's just California, right? And we're having a very difficult time right now because the men and the women that are in the positions that they're in, they're operating from their political party's position. And we call that treason because your political party is foreign to us, okay? Now, I'm going to show you what republic is, okay? Republic is public affairs. That's what it is. Republic, a commonwealth. That's what it is. Republic, a state in which the exercise of the sovereign power is lodged in representatives elected by the people. All right, so that's what we do in our Republican form governments, is that we give our elected representatives the power and the ability of the sovereign. They're the trustees, right? And that's what they're supposed to do. And they're supposed to obey the trust. And the Constitution is the trust, not your political party, but the Constitution. And we're finding out right now that the reps aren't repping the people. They're repping their political parties. And we don't like that. We don't like that at all, okay? Check this out. In modern usage, it differs from a democracy or democratic state in which the people exercise the powers of the sovereignty in person. All right, so in person is just another tool that the people use to speak through, right? You know, so they're kind of like the same. This is why people get confused, right? But when you have the title of representative, right, you know, then that's what you're supposed to do because you rep the people, right? That's what you're supposed to do. Now, when you talk about in person, like I have my person, I am a person, and I have sovereign abilities and I have sovereign powers, right? But when I'm operating in my political association, I've agreed to the terms and the conditions within the political association so I can go and I can have a safe market and it can be cool. And then our government is supposed to make sure that our markets are safe and cool. And they're supposed to make sure that our neighborhoods are safe and cool. And they're supposed to make sure that we have energy and we're supposed to have clean water. That's all they're supposed to do, right? I'm tired of them using these emotional words to pull us into a democratic state. We're not a democracy and we don't have democratic states. We have republic governments. Remember this and we're going to be cool. I'm going to show you the order right here, okay? Because a lot of people don't believe me. Because when I tell them, I was like, yo, dude, we're not a democracy. And they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, dude, we're not a democracy. Yes, we have a democratic republic. I'm like, no, we don't. That doesn't say, nothing like that is said in the Constitution. So I'm going to show you the order right now because you and I, my neighbor, we have to agree on the same thing so we can be on the same page. Because when I come and I talk to you, I don't want you to get shook and I don't want you to get scared. I don't want you to be triggered whenever you hear the word Republican form government, because most of you guys are triggered right now whenever you hear republic, right? Because you immediately think about red team Republicans, right? You immediately think about the political party called the Republicans, right? And then you immediately either go on your team, you go to either the blue team or the red team. And we don't like that because when you're in our political machine called the government, you're only in one government, the United States, right, which is our federal government, and each state has its government and they all have their own constitutions. So each state has a constitution and the federal government has a constitution and we're all in agreement, okay? So you political parties, you need to stop trying to trick the people out and using these emotions, okay? Now check out this order right here. This is one of the provisions from our United States Constitution. Look at what it says and focus on the highlight. It says the United States shall guarantee, right? It says it, the United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a Republican form of government. All right. It doesn't say a democratic republic. It doesn't say a democracy. It says a Republican form of government. And when you jump all the way back up and when you look at what a republic is, it is a commonwealth. It is the public affairs. Right? It's very simple. It's so simple a dummy like me can figure it out. And I'm showing you the words because the state exercises the sovereign power. They get the sovereign power from the people. That's why all the power is coming from the people, right? And this is what they're supposed to exercise. So our reps, when they go into their position, either legislative, executive, or judicial, you're exercising the power of we the people. And we know what you're supposed to do, okay? It's very simple, all right? Rewind, let's keep it going. Order. The United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a republican form of government, and shall protect each of them against invasion, and on application of the legislature or of the executive when the legislature cannot be convened against domestic violence. So when you jump back up and it says, and shall protect each of them against invasion. So political parties are foreign to our constitutions. If a political party or a political party member tries to run jurisdiction over our constitutions, that is called an invasion, and you can't do that. You have to agree to the terms and the conditions as written within our federal constitution and our state constitution if you put on any of the offices of the people. Remember this, and we're going to be cool. Now, drop down. I'm going to show you my position because I'm always coming at it from boss position. Hold on. Had to burp, air burp, okay? Rewind. So I'm going to show you my position because I'm always coming at it from boss position. Look at what this provision right here says. All political power is inherent in the people. I always just stop right there. And then that's why when I always go talk to my reps or my staff or the staff of the reps, and I like to ask them the question, hey, who has all political power? The people or you, right? And it flies over their head, right? Because they immediately say, well, in our direct democracy, and I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? Our direct democracy? We don't have a direct democracy. We have Republican form governments. I don't think you know what it is that you're doing. Or when they say in our democratic republic, and I'm like, oh, wait, I don't think you know what you're talking about. Nowhere in our Constitution does it say a democratic republic. We are Republican form governments, right? And I'm just here to show you because I'm the power, I'm one of the people, and we put this together so you can operate it. And we don't think that you know how to operate the trust, all right? This is what we like to do, and this is why we like to come at it from boss position. Rewind, let's read it again. Position. All political power is inherent in the people. Government is instituted for their protection, security, and benefit, and they have the right to alter or reform it when the public good may require. So that's what we can do, right? So like if your neighborhoods aren't safe because you have a lot of wild people running around shooting up your neighborhoods or causing a ruckus in your neighborhoods, you can alter or reform your government because your government obviously doesn't know what they're doing, right? And then if they try to use emotions and say, well, it's because 400 years ago, your people were slaves and you don't know how to govern yourself, right? This is what they try to do, and they try to tell the people. Or when they like to use other words and they say, well, our immigrant population, right? That's just code for saying undocumented people, and that's just code for saying people who cross the border illegally, right? That's what that is, right? That's what that is. So you got to understand the words, and you got to understand how they like to trick you with the words, and that's why you have to understand, as one of the people, my neighbor, you have to understand your position, and you always have to come at it from boss position, right? You can look at it from your political party's position, but just know that that's a diminished position because political parties are foreign to our governments. They're foreign to our constitutions. So whenever somebody from the red team or the blue team is trying to impose or inject their political party ideology within our constitutions, we know they're breaking the law. That's called an invasion, and we don't like that, okay? So we're done. Let's walk it back up now. So I just wanted to show you my position as one of the people. I have all political power, and I never move from that position. And I like to show my neighbors how to exercise that power too, okay? And then I wanted to show you the order because, we got to stop. We got to stop with this whole democratic republic and democracy and blah, 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 blah. Our governments are Republican in form, right? All of our governments, all of our states, they're Republican Republican form of governments, right? It's in the Constitution. Just go read the terms and the conditions and you're going to be cool, okay? So you can be part of a political party, but just know that that political party is foreign to our government, okay? And then I wanted to show you what a republic is, and then I wanted to show you what emotion is, all right? So if you understand those terms and those conditions and never move from those positions, I guarantee you're going to bring down your stress levels a whole lot, okay, my neighbor? And that's the hot take on what is emotion, right? So don't let people manipulate your emotions, because they like to manipulate your emotions with the words that they show you, or the pictures that they show you, or the sounds that they show you, or the words that come out of their mouth, right? They're always going to try to move you. And whenever someone's trying to move you with emotions, you better keep an eye on them, because they might try to be tricking you out of your property, okay? Because they might want to put their hands in your cookie jar. Remember this, and we're going to be cool. So we're done with that bit. Let's hop on our next slide. Conclusion. This is my closeout game, and I love it. Trust God. So I'm going to say this from now on until my father taps me out. Trust God. Put your trust in God, put your property in God's trust, and I guarantee your stress levels will come down a whole lot, okay? And then all you have to do is you just have to learn how to dress and keep my father's property, because my father is God, and God created everything, right? I don't care if you don't believe it, them just be the terms and the conditions, and if you really don't believe it, just go look on the back of your currency, and it's always going to say, in God we trust, right? So our government understands it, right? And in the preamble, they understand it too. Now you, my neighbor, you may not understand it, but this is what we like to show you, because you need to learn how to dress and keep God's property. And your body, even if you don't believe it, is my father's property. Like this body, this is not my property. This is father's property. And I have a duty and I have an obligation to administer it as written, right? Just like how my government aren't the political party's property. It's the people's property. And the people that are in the positions of our government, they have a duty and they have an obligation to administer the people's property as written. It's the same game all the way down, okay? All right, so we're done. Let's go ahead and walk it back up now. So I just wanted to give a shout out to the Free DC organization for showing us who they serve. We know they serve the democracy. We know that they serve the Democrats, right? And we just know that because those are the words that come out of your mouth. So anytime you say democracy or anytime that you say Democrat, then we know that you don't adhere to our Republican form governments, because you don't believe in our Republican form governments. Therefore, you are foreign to our Republican form governments, and you might be trying to invade our Republican form governments with your political party ideology. And we don't like that. We call that treason. And that goes the same for the red team too. If you will call yourself a Republican and you don't adhere to the constitutions, then you're not a Republican. You're something else. You're foreign anyway, because we don't have political parties in our constitutions. All political parties are foreign to our governments, okay? Remember this, and we're going to be cool. Let's walk it back up now. And then I wanted to do that hot take on what is emotion, because they're always going to try to move you with the words, man. Always. They try to move you with the words, they try to move you with the images, and they try to move you with the sound, right? And that's how they trap you. That's how they trap you through the emotions, and we don't like that, okay? That's why we try to show you how to run jurisdiction over your political parties. And then I wanted to talk about how all political parties are foreign to our constitutions. You got to stick on this. Okay, you can be part of a political party and you can go hang out with them because they're private associations. They're foreign to our governments. They're foreign to our our constitutions. And once you understand this, you're going to be cool. So Democrats have no power over our constitutions and Republicans have no power over our constitutions. No political party has any power over our constitutions, because our constitutions were created by the people, okay? By God with love, by the people, all right? That's why we did it, and that's how we put it down. Okay, so we're done. Let's go ahead and walk it back down. Yes, we are done. Thank you. I'll see you in the future. By God with love. And remember, nobody's having more fun than us. Bye.